what's my man's name right here? What's your name? Ethan. Ethan came down and he said, don't bore us, please. Nah, he didn't. Thank you so much, Mr. Elliott, for this opportunity to speak to you all. And I sat there and I want to give you all a round of applause. You all are awesome. Just listening to your reports and just seeing how you guys carry yourself is really good. All right, so can I start now? I have only 1 minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I will suffer if I lose it, given a count of 5 views in just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. Today I want to talk about leadership. You all have been hanging out all day, learning and gleaning from leadership, right? All year, right? Y'all talk back to me, right? Yeah. Okay, so when you think about leadership, leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Many of you are leaders in your own right. However, many have also discovered leadership is more about the ability to adapt than to give orders. There are some great leaders and there are some not so great leaders. So let me ask you this. Leaders in this room, please raise your hand. Now I need someone that's brave enough, maybe Ethan or maybe someone else, can stand up and tell me why you feel like you're a leader. Ethan, you don't want to do that one? Somebody else stand up real quickly and tell me why. Presidents? Thank you, man.
I think I'm a great leader. I look at leadership as more of a mindset instead of an action.
Y'all give him a hand. Leaders must be able to lead by an example even when it's not popular. To be considered a leader, it sometimes look like a celebrity type status, right? But can I be honest, leadership has nothing to do with your title, your status, your color, your neighborhood, your social media followers, but it has more to do with your character. The greatest demonstration of your leadership can and will be seen through your fellowship. So let's talk about an acronym that I like to call FUMES. Fighting, understanding, motivation, empowerment, and sensitivity. To be an effective leader, you must be willing to fight for what you truly believe in. But understand, everybody won't get on board with your fight. And you have to be okay with that. I will say again, leadership is not always a popular thing, but it is a purposeful thing. So we talked about fighting. So let's talk about understanding. In all of your getting, every meeting you go to, national, local, state, whatever, in all of your getting, you must get understanding. You got to get understanding. So as current and future leaders, you must understand that life itself will present 1,000,001 scenarios during your lifetime, but it's up to you to truly embrace the fact that life will not always be good. Life will not always be bad. But life will always offer you an opportunity to learn and grow. So we talked about fighting, right? Understanding. Let's talk about being motivated. Motivation is a tricky thing. I don't know if I have any athletes in here. If I do, raise your hand. Awesome. So athletes, how do you get motivated before a big game? How do you stay motivated during that game? And how do you stay motivated when you're losing that game? How do you stay motivated before the game? How do you get there? How do you get there? How do you change your mindset to be motivated before that game? How do you stay motivated during the game? And how do you stay motivated when you're losing the game? Yes, we all like to believe that we can wake up one day and everything we desire will fall right in our laps with little to no preparation or motivation. Just in case nobody told you, let me be the first to say, you need something that motivates you, something that energizes you, something that tells you to keep going, something that makes you see past your fears. I simply believe we all need a song. We need a line in our favorite movie. We need a mentor's voice. We need something that we hear during the toughest challenges of our lives. What motivates you right now? In the stage of the life you're in right now, what motivates you? What really motivates you? What makes you get out of the bed? Is it being a part of these clubs? What motivates you? Teachers, what motivates you to do what you do every day? Every day is not easy. So we talk about fighting, understanding, motivation, and now empowerment. Empowerment is when you make the decision to do what you need to do, even when you're the only one making that decision. You have to be willing to make the next decision for yourself or have an idea of what you want that decision to be. But guess what? Just in case you don't know what your next decision is going to be, find someone that you trust and have that conversation. Allow them to help you navigate to make the next decision of your life. They say you're here now as a student.
I am.
But 2 years ago, you were in those seats. So you made a decision to do what was best for you.
Right.
But you also had friends that did not make the decision you made. You got to be willing to let some people go. And that's not always a bad thing. It's a dangerous thing not to have the desire to be empowered. Last but certainly not least, the last word I want to talk to you today about is being sensitive. Being sensitive creates a vulnerability at times that make it possible to see things from a different perspective. And it can also be life-changing. An exceptional leader understands that there is a level of sensitivity that is required to be effective. A sensitive leader is approachable, accessible, and accountable. Now, fighting is good, but just make sure you're fighting for what you believe is right and purposeful. Understanding is great, but if you're not sharing your understanding with others, then what good is it? Motivation is an amazing thing, but when you have no direction behind the motivation, then what? To be empowered is speechless. But if you fail to embrace the responsibility that being empowered provides, then life, in fact, will make a coward out of you. To be sensitive is a beautiful thing, but when your motives are not clear, you can be taken advantage of. I know I said a lot in those few minutes, but Mr. Elliott told me not to be long. But to be an effective leader of change, you must be a leader of purpose, a leader of possibility, a leader of accountability. You need some fumes. You need some fight in you. You need some understanding in you. You need some motivation in you. You need some empowerment in you. And yes, you do need to be sensitive. Tell somebody to the right, to the left of you, you need some fumes. That was the wrong person. Tell somebody to the right, to the left of you, you need some fumes. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I will end this the same way I started. I have only 1 minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I will suffer if I lose it, give an account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Solomon McAuley. It's been a pleasure to stand before you, and congratulations once again.